Hi there. I promised you a video response, so I'm just going to do one now. So yeah, let's say we want to grab some endpoints. I'm going to create a line here, and I'm going to set the number of points on it to 10. So in order to grab this, we can do we're going to grab the endpoints, and then we're going to grab the middle points. So let's say in a wrangle here, if at ptnum, so if the point number is 0 or at the ptnum equals endpoints, which is the number of points, we want the 0th input and -1 on that. So I should open this up so we can actually see it. So if the point number is equal to 0 or the point number is equal to the number of points -1, then let's create a group called ends, and they'll be included in it. Equals what? Oop. There we are. Oh, that should be endpoints. So what they should say, or what they should create rather, is a point group called ends with 2 points. And if we blast that away, those 2 points should be the endpoints here, which they are. If we delete non-selected, it removes everything in the middle. So then we can say else at group underscore middle equals 1. Like that. So now, if we blast out the middle group, we're removing everything in the middle. So that's nice and simple. And that would work if you were to put down a font SOP and you were to pack everything, like so. But there's a bit of a challenge with this, which you can kind of see already here with the frame, or if I were to put, I don't know, I'm going to type in hello world. So you kind of get screwed a little bit here, because whether you're doing an assemble and turning on pack primitives here, the problem is you end up creating on certain characters that have 2 unique islands of geometry, an I, a J, an exclamation mark, a colon, a semicolon. You end up creating 2 attributes. And the same thing would be if we did a connectivity SOP here, and we plugged in a primitive, made this primitive, and I'm just going to color them randomly, random from attribute, and class, and that's primitives. So you can see here, these are registering 2 different numbers. This is a problem. So Lewis actually pointed this out in the comments, which was really helpful. I didn't know this existed. Was in the font SOP, we can turn on this thing, add text attributes. And this creates a couple of attributes for us. It creates a text index and a text symbol, both of which are really helpful. So I've got a script here that might help us understand what this means. I'm just going to go split by attribute. So if we look at the text index, this is basically going to give us a number per character we've typed in. So it'll give us the H, we've got the L's in here, we've got the E's, they'll be around here somewhere. But basically, this creates a range between 0 and the number of characters we've typed in. So if I just go ramp from attribute here, this will be primitive, and we just see how many we've got. It should be 12. Or it should be 11 because space doesn't count rather. So it goes 0 through 11. And so we'll just say use text symbol, like so. And we're going to set this to be, we want to do text index, and we'll set this to be a range between 0 and 11. You can see we've now got, if I just make this a different color, you can see we've got a range of numbers along our string of characters, which would work for you in exactly the same way here to get the range. The problem is the space is probably something you don't want. So we want to get a unique number per group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a wrangle here, and I'm going to copy this parameter, this text thing here, and I'm going to say string text equals CHS text, and that's our start. Paste relative reference, so that should give us our hello world. And so now this text string is in our wrangle. We're just going to say s at text equals text, so we can see what this looks like. There should be one unique attribute here, which there is. So if we just go to the geometry spreadsheet, the points, yeah, so our text is hello world. There's a problem with this. If I want to say I at length equals len text, so the length of the characters in our text, and have a look at that, you can see this runs up to 12, which is technically correct because it goes 0 through to 11, but we might not want it to be like that, and as I say, the spaces might kind of get in the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip or replace all of the spaces with something else. I'm going to say, what would I say? I'll say replace our text, and we want to replace spaces with nothing. So now, if we look at our geometry spreadsheet, you can see our length is now 11, which is correct to the number of characters we have. We have 5, 5, 11. And then you can see the text has now been trimmed down so that space doesn't exist. So now it's a lot easier to capture that range. So we can do a very similar thing to what we did in this wrangle. What we're going to do is we're going to say if, and I'm just going to trim this back a bit, if at text index equals 0, or at text index equals len text, like so, then at group underscore ends equals 1, and we'll just say else at group underscore middle equals 1, like so. That should all work okay. So now if we just put down a blast here, see if that worked. So this is our ends group. We'll create it. Oh, it created the ends. Why did it not create the middle? Oh, I should probably promote those up. Hold on a sec. So an attribute promote, we'll go from prim to point. We'll do text index, and we'll just set it to first match. Okay, so now we can blast out our ends. So that got the exclamation mark and the H. And if we put down another blast, and we want to blast out all of our middle characters, this will get us the 2 ends. So this would be my 2 cents on how you can go about grabbing the middle characters in a string. It might get a little bit more complicated if you wanted to do it per word, but we'll cross that bridge if you need to do it. But best of luck with the project. Hope it all goes well.